We live in a civilized world. We live in the most technologically advanced society that ever was. And still, we kill each other on a routine basis. There's murder in our streets. Now, don't get all quiet on me now. But the truth is that you can't turn the TV on, you can't listen to the news, you can't go a day without hearing about the fact that people are killing one another. It's a plague and an epidemic in our nation and in the nations around the world. In America, as in the rest of the world, we've cultivated a culture of violence. Now, listen to me. We live in a world that everywhere you go, every movie you watch, every TV show you watch, there's violence in it. There's people shooting each other, killing each other, brutalizing each other. And what does that do? Our movies are full of violence. Our TV is full of violence. The video games that we put out now, each one has to outdo the next to where it's so graphic and so violent that it's almost as if, you're in that situation actually doing those things. Oh, you're getting quiet on me now. And people say, well, that movies and TV and video games, that doesn't affect us. It's affected us as a culture. Do you know, during Vietnam, they discovered that soldiers were being found dead in firefights because they wouldn't pull the trigger on their rifles. And so the Army developed a program where they would use video games attached to, real simulated rifles where they would teach the soldiers not to think, but to acquire a target and pull the trigger. And then through muscle memory, they trained these soldiers to get past the aversion of not wanting to pull the trigger to the point where they had cultivated a type of soldier that would just reflexively kill. And you want to tell me that same technology in our movies, our TVs, and our video games hasn't affected a generation? Where we see people who shoot up schools and shoot up malls and shoot up neighborhoods. Come on, where do they get that from? They've been conditioned through the violence of our culture. Some of you better clap. I'm gonna be waiting for you by your car when I'm done. Oh, Pastor, you just, you don't want us to have any fun. We got to look around and see what's going on in our world today. There's violence in our street. The murder rate between 2019 and 2020 has risen 29.4%. That's the steepest climb that we've seen in decades, where people are now in our streets, in our inner cities, just shooting each other up and murdering each other. There was almost 1,000 murders within the first 5 months of the year in Chicago alone. 71 people were shot and 8 were killed on 4th of July weekend just in Chicago alone. Our urban inner cities are more dangerous. It is more dangerous to live in some of these urban inner city sections where they're just every weekend, every day, they're killing each other over drugs and turf and whatever. It was more dangerous to live there than to serve in Afghanistan, where we'd have maybe 2 or 3 casualties a month. And in Chicago, 70, 80 shot on a weekend. Church, how have we fallen so fast? We empty the jails and don't punish criminals and wonder why the crime rate goes up. The insanity of what we're doing as a nation, of what the nations are doing. There's murder in our streets, and we need to pray for its end.